guys, how's it going? Let's see if anybody's on here. Yes, I see a few people. Thanks for joining up. Good to see you guys again. It's been a couple weeks, and thanks for moving it back one day for me. Had to reschedule to Thursday. We've been usually doing Wednesdays for the past 10 times or so. And it's good to be here. It's good to be with you guys. We are going into drop D today. This is the first time that we have done that, and we have our capo on 4. So it's a little bit of a different scene today. We've been concentrating mostly on Tony Rice or Norman Blake solos that have a different feel. This one is straight on major key in the D position. And the last time I was with you guys, we did Bitter Green, which was also using D position chords. And by D position, I'm just meaning D is the 1 chord. We're in the key of F sharp, but we're playing out of the key of D. So I'll play while people are joining up, getting tuned up, getting your D dropped down. Which to do that, we take our E, which was a whole step up, and here I'll just do it with you guys in case you've never done it. So you're on E, and you can use your 4th string to get that in tune. And you might have to tune some of your other strings while you're at it, because it kind of brings the tension a little differently. To go ahead and tune down. This is actually one of the few Tony Rice solos that I know of where he uses drop D, so totally beautiful in both major and that minor D minor pentatonic feeling like he uses on his Lonesome Reuben solo, one of his earlier recordings. So, play it again for you guys while you're joining up. I'll slow it down a teeny bit so you can get the feel, get the flavor for it.
Say that you'll be mine.
This workshop is about this solo, not learning the entire song. I'm not concentrating on the lyrics or singing the melody or anything. We're just on this little half of a verse solo that Tony Rice did on this album. And I partially chose this in honor of Gordon Lightfoot, who wrote the song Go My Way and recently passed away the 1st of May. Beautiful, beautiful song. Let's go over the chords together. Last time we talked about hearing chords by ear, and we're still going to do that. It's super important because it's way quicker than memorizing chords. If your ear is going to direct you to which chord we're going to. Hey there. Kenny, David Lee, Sean Apple. Wonderful to see you guys on here. So let's hit our 1 chord, our open D. And because we're in drop D, we get to play all 6 strings. Beautiful sound. Now most people, including me, hey there Julie Pinnell, nice to see a woman flat picker on here. When I'm playing in drop D, I often don't even play that top note much. And when I do, I often just kind of leave off my 2nd finger. Don't play that F sharp. I play kind of like an add 9 on top there, that open E. There's our 1. For our 4 chord of the hook, remember how the solo begins with that. And that hook's going to happen throughout the song, so we should probably go over it because it'll get our ear used to that 4 chord. So strum a nice open D. Okay, and then you guys know me. I'm going to ask you to cross pick up that chord. That's part of the hook. He does it differently every time, but you can do it the same every time if you'd like. So I'm going down, up, down, up. And just like every single workshop I do, we're going to do down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up on our 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I got a question online the other day. What's the best way to get started doing flat picking style like that? It really is the best way is to work on your down, up, down, ups with your right hand. That's going to give us that flowing, beautiful sound. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And when we skip a string, we still keep our right hand moving down, up, down, up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and. See how my right hand's still moving. So do some drills like that, going up the scale, and it's just like when you strum. You keep your hand moving, that rhythm. A lot of you are great rhythm players, and you're used to doing that with your rhythm, and when it comes to picking, a lot of you, a lot of the people I've taught do random down-ups, not on the correct beat. They're just gotten in habits. They haven't had someone point it out before. So let's concentrate on that, okay? We have a hello from Dixie Hagen and from Alan from Australia. Great to see y'all. Don't let me talk too long on this hook because we've got to get into this solo. So when we hit this 4 chord, I just told you I wanted you to go strum, strum. I want you to cross pick up that beautiful D chord. And that is a wonderful exercise in and of itself because we have to skip the 5th string as we cross pick up. Down on the lowest string, up on the 4th string, down on the 3rd string, and then up on the 2nd string. My hand's in a D chord. Okay, down, 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 up, down, up. Okay, that's the first little bit of that hook. The next bit is the 4 chord. So the bass player is playing that 1. We can play it too. So it's really a 4 chord over a 1 note, over the tonic. So we're gonna pretend we're playing a G chord, but not put our 2nd finger down. So our 1st finger goes to the 5th string, 2nd fret. If anybody here has studied with me, you'll recognize this. It's from one of our cross picking exercises. Great use for it. I'm playing what looks like the inside of a G chord. 1st finger, 5th string, 2nd fret, and 3rd finger is 2nd string, 3rd fret. And we're going to cross pick up those middle strings after we strum. Okay? So sometimes he adds in that little C sharp. Of course, our capo is on 4th fret, but I'm just going to say these notes as if this were the nut, just so if you're playing mandolin or fiddle, you hate me right now for doing that, but I'm not going to use the chords in F sharp or the notes from F sharp. It would just be super confusing. So we have what would be a C sharp back to the D. Okay, so that's our 1, 4 chord. Now, this is great for our triad work. We are going to jump up to our 5 triad. And we've talked about this in this G shape here. I call it the connect 4. You know when you're playing and you sneak in a diagonal? That's how I want you to look at this. That's our 4 chord. And we've done this before. It's between the 3rd and the 5th fret, but now we're going to move it up between the 5th and the 7th fret to give us our 5. What would be an A if this were the nut? So it's super simple. Do not get intimidated. It's between the 5th and the 7th fret up from the capo. 3rd finger goes to the 7th fret up from the capo, 4th string. 2nd finger goes up to the 6th fret up from the capo, 3rd string, and that's here. So, and then 1st finger is on the 2nd string, 5th fret up from the capo. Da 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 da. 1 3 5 3 1. Why do I care so much about triads? Because all of our solos we can visualize around the 1, 3, and 5 of chord tones as we're moving through the chords. So let's play this beautiful triad here. 1, 3, 5, 3, 1. Play it with me. And now do it with that 1 in the bass, just like the bass player's doing, and that open A. See how beautiful that is? And it just shows the versatility of this drop D sound, because we get to use these open strings. You can even use that open E on top. What would be an E? Okay? Once we strum that, we're going to cross pick up it. Down, up, down, down. Down, up, down, up. And we're going to do an upstroke for a strum. And then move the whole situation down to a G triad between the 3rd and 5th fret. Same shape. So this, go 2 frets down between the 3rd and the 5th fret up from the capo. He grabs that on his way back down to the 1. So that whole hook is just D, G over D, jump up to that A triad, the 5 triad, the 5th and 7th frets up from the capo. Move it down 2 frets, and then that's the 4 triad. What would be a G? Back to the 1. That's that hook you're going to hear throughout the song. Beautiful hook. In the beginning of the song, he does that little da-da-da-da-da. Cool. Just wanted to make sure we went through that, because that's kicks into our solo. And the solo is just beyond beautiful if you've had a chance to listen to it. Let me play it again, since some folks might have joined up since I last played it. And you'll get to hear that hook that we just did.
That you'll be mine.
At the end of that, I was kind of mimicking some of Jerry's lead-in notes, Jerry Douglas's dobro lead-in notes, just to kind of match up with what's going on there. What a beautiful solo! My God, I wish I could go back in time to the first time I heard that. I just about exploded. I mean, it just blows me away when I hear it. He has such a magical, soulful power to create something singable and flowing that is unique, that I never would have thought of myself. That's part of why I sit here loving this with you guys, because it gives me a chance to talk about it, to think about it, and to do it with you guys, and just to really get micro for a bit. You know, I'm not looking at my phone. We're just talking about guitar for an hour and really get into micro details of what makes that so special and so beautiful. I mean, heart-poundingly gorgeous. So on this one, you know how recently he's been doing a bunch of pickup notes? No pickup note on this one. He actually waits until beat 1, comes in on beat 2, and he's gonna, oh, I haven't even gone through the chords with y'all. Let's just do they're nice and simple. We're gonna have our D chord as our 1. To the 5. What's the 5 in the key of in D position? To know that, you count up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. D, E, F sharp, G, A. 5 chord. A. 2 measures of A. Next up, we've got 6 minor. To do that, in your head, A, up 1, up the alphabet, B minor. Of course, this is in the key of F sharp. Once again, we're capo 4, so we're going to be talking in D chords. I know you hate me, mandolin players and fiddle players, if you're listening to this, but so we're gonna play a B minor chord, we guitar players, for 2 measures. Now we have our 3 minor. What's the 3 minor in the key of D? Count up the alphabet, D, E, F sharp, because D has an F sharp, right? To figure this out, all you have to do is go up your scale. And if you don't know your D major scale, you got a tiny bit of work to do, and I want you to do it because you need to know your G scale, C scale, and your D scale. Bare minimum requirement. You can do it. So C has no sharps and flats, G has 1 sharp, and the key of D has 2 sharps. They are F sharp and C sharp. Those notes of that scale are going to be the roots of our chords that we're calling out. And if you don't do chords by numbers, I want that to be another goal that you make for yourself. That when you're at a jam and people are holding up their fingers, 1, 4, you know. It might take some time, it might take years, but you're going to get there. Because you're going to go to that jam someday where people call the tune in another key, and you're like, oh, I can't play it. I don't know it in that key. Yes, you do. Your ear can tell you through the number, and people with numbers, and you can do it. So, goal number 1, learn the D major scale if you haven't done so already. Goal number 2, hearing chords by ear. Sorry for my sidetrack. We are going back to that 1 chord for 2 measures. Go back to the top. 1 chord for 2 measures. And then 5 chord, A. 6 minor, B minor. Now our 3 minor, D, E, F sharp minor. In the drop D tuning, we don't get to play, you know how F sharp minor 7, you often play it by barring or doing this. Because we have moved our lowest string up by a whole step, it's actually a little bit easier, and I like it. We're going to bar as though we're playing an A chord with our first finger. We're going to fourth, third, and second string are getting barred. And then you can just slap on with your 3rd finger that F sharp, what would be an F sharp if this were the nut. And that's on the 4th fret up from the capo. So 3rd finger hits that. We've got what sounds like a 3 minor, because it is. So an F sharp minor if this were the nut. And that's 2 measures of that 3 minor. Okay. Next up we've got a 4 chord. So this is also slightly different because we are in drop D. If you've never played in drop D before, let's check this out real quick. It's nice and easy. It's all 1s and 5s. No major 3rds of this chord. We're going to put our 3rd finger on the 5th fret of the 6th string. Pinky directly underneath on the 5th string, 5th fret. Then a bunch of open notes. 4th string open, 3rd string open, and we're just barring the top 2 strings of the 3rd fret. So that's our 4 chord. Okay. Next up, we've got our 2 minor. So what's 2 minor in the key of D? Think about it for just a sec. Based on what we talked about. You can go up by scale degrees. 1 is D, up the alphabet 1. E is our 2. 2 minor. So the way I do the 2 minor here in drop D is it looks like an E minor, normal E minor, but I'm just going to drop it down a set of strings. So it's really an E minor 7. So we've got 1st finger, 2nd fret of the 6th string, that lowest string there, and our 2nd finger on the 5th string, 2nd fret. So I hope you're writing these chords down. If not, hit me up if you need like a little chord chart or something. I purposely don't have these out for you guys because I really want us to be learning these by phrase and by ear. I just think my students learn better and internalize more when they're not addicted to a piece of paper. But I know this one's tricky chord wise. So we have our 5 chord and then a 4 chord again. 5. So why don't I let Tony play the solo and I'll I'll call out the chords in time. And I'm going to slow it way down to give you time to find them and hear it.
Say that you'll be mine.
This is that hook. Up to the 5th and 7th frets for that tread. Okay, here it comes really slowly. We're going to go through the chords. 1 chord, D chord. 5 chord, A. 6 minor, a B minor. Up comes the 3 minor, which is F sharp minor. Now 4 chord, G. 5, 4, 5. I just realized I forgot my little, there is that 2 minor 7 after the 4 chord, after the G. So I'll speed it up a teeny bit, I'll skip over the hook, and we'll go through that again. Here it comes. Get your D chord ready. D. Here comes a 5 chord, A. 6 minor, B minor. Here comes the 3 minor. Here comes a 4 chord, G. Now to that E minor, that 2 minor. To the 5. A. G. 4 chord, G. Here comes the 5. So there we go. That's the chords that Tony is using as he composed this solo. And I say composed because I read in his Still Inside book that he prepared his solos ahead of time for recording sessions. And I believe it, because a lot of them sound like masterful compositions that could be their own composition. And which is why we're sitting here studying it so many years later. So let's get started on the melody of that gorgeous solo. We're starting on that 1 chord, and that's our first phrase. So you can hear right away he's starting on like a suspended feeling. You hear people talking about how Tony Rice listened to a lot of jazz. I haven't transcribed a jazz solo in a really long time, but I don't really... Somebody speak up if you transcribe jazz solos and you've heard that little... See, what that is to me is a bunch of cool lead-in to that one. Da, 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 da. If we were to analyze it, it's a 5, 6... 9 or 2, 7, 1. I mean, wow. I mean, for me, that's kind of outer space. I don't know how somebody would come up with that. I've heard him use that quite a bit. Let's see. There's another Lightfoot song, Whispers of the North. I think I've recognized that sound from that, and he uses this shape and this idea again in this solo. It kind of almost looks like your E minor triad, or D minor chord moved up 2, but not really, because your 3rd finger is on the 5th fret. So we're going to start with a downstroke there on the 5th fret, 1st string, and then we're going to skip a string and do an up on what would be a B, if this were the nut, up, an upstroke on my 3rd string, 4th fret. So, and then a down on my 5th fret, 2nd string. And then an up on my 2nd fret, 2nd string. And then a down on my, what would be a D if this were the nut, 3rd fret, 2nd string. So, da, 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 da. Wow. So, da, 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 da. And then the rest is super easy to hear Like it's just outlining D, really. Da, 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 da. So honestly, you could almost hear like a string quartet or some classical quartet playing this, you know. Da 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 da, 3 4 3 2 1. Just nice and simple, almost like a child's minuet on piano. But it starts with that cool suspended whatever it is. 5 6 9 7 1 2 3 4 3 2 1. Okay, so if you need that spelled out, I would hope your ear could hear that little bit because it's nice and simple, but let's go through it note by note. We ended up here on this one note. Now we're going to do an up on our open E, down on our second fret, first string, up stroke on our G, what would be a G, which is the third fret, first string, and then back to that second fret, first string, with a downstroke in our right hand, and then an up again on our open first string, open E, and then down on what would be a D, that third fret, second string. So let's play that little phrase again together. It comes in on beat 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, so we are going to next up lead to this the beautiful 5-chord phrase he does. So next up, wow. Again, here we are, and it feels like a classical piece almost. It's like he could have written this, I don't know, for piano. So what is that? What does our ear hear there? What I hear is somebody landing sharp on that third of the 5 chord. So the third of the 5 chord is C sharp. So the 7th degree of the scale. So there we are again on our C sharp, our third of the 5 chord. So he's really letting us know that he knows we're in the 5 chord here. He's doing a beautiful melodic phrase, but he's never straying. He's not noodling, so to speak. He's in the 5 chord, in this key here, key of F sharp. But we're pretending it's the key of D because we're guitar players and we have the beauty of the capo. So let's go through that 5 phrase. We ended on this 1. Okay, so we're going to go straight into that. Da, da, da. And that's still in the 1 feeling. Up on that F sharp, second fret, first string, upstroke. Down on the open E, first string. Up on that second string, third fret. And then now, square on beat 1 of the 5 chord, we're going to hit our third of the 5 chord. That's C sharp, that second fret, second string with a downstroke in our right hand. Okay? And we're going to kind of head on down this da 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 da. See, if you guys had been if you've been studying your D scale, you just play it. You just know. You're starting on your 7. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 7. So you haven't been playing your C scale. I will lead it through note for note with you. But my point is, I hope I'm making you realize that it will help when you do drills and you just recognize, oh, C scale, or excuse me, D scale, done. You just got it. So we're going to go down on that C sharp, 2nd fret, 2nd string, down, up on that open 2nd string, down on that 3rd string, 2nd fret, up on the open 3rd string, down on that F sharp, that 4th string, 4th fret, with our 3rd finger, and then down on the 1st finger, 2nd fret, 4th string, and then, excuse me, that was an up, down on the open 4th string, and then an up on our, back to that 2nd fret, 4th string, and then down on that, what would be a C sharp if this were the nut, 4th fret, 5th string. Da 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 da. So, starting from the top of the solo, 2, 3, 4, 1. That's where we are, okay? And I better not talk so much because it's already 8:03 and I usually try not to burn you guys out, but with too much of me. So here we go. We're going to keep going unless you guys have any questions. So this one is kind of back on up that 5 feeling, but we skipped that open G this time on our way back up. I think that is totally beautiful, and let me lead you through that. So we started, we ended, and now we're going to start with that down on that 4th fret, 5th string, down, up on the open 4th string, down on what would be an E, the 2nd fret, 4th string, up on our, what would be an F sharp, the 4th fret, 4th string, upstroke, so. And then remember, we're skipping the open G, skipping the open 3rd string, and this time doing it down on that 2nd fret, 3rd string, and then up on that 2nd string, open, down on that what would be a C sharp, that 2nd fret, 2nd string, and then an up on that 3rd fret, 2nd string. Okay, so that whole wait, are we playing a Bach fugue? I just feel like this is a timeless solo. There are no fads. There's 0 blues licks, by the way, which is, this is definitely our first Tony Rice that we've looked at that has no reference to hammering on from flat 3 to 3 or any flat 5 or any sort of bluesiness. Actually, no, there is. I'm lied, because later in the solo, there might be a hammer-on in that triad. But point is, this is very, to me, almost sounds classical. I just think it's amazing. Okay, so next up, we are going to lead into the 6 minor. And I want you guys to get familiar with a really simple minor triad, just a simple minor shape. This one also looks like playing Connect 4 when you're playing diagonally, because it's just, that's our 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, 3, 1 of the, so this would be like a B minor shape. If this were the nut, this would be B minor. That's what I want you to visualize when we go into this next bit, because that's what I think he's seeing. Guitar players a lot of times are seeing these shapes. It's not random notes. So he's seeing that, and he's ending up on that open B. What would be a B if this were the nut? So let me give you some context, because we have, starting from the top, we have the 1 chord. 1, 5. And now we're hitting that ba-da-da-da-da. We're hitting that 6 minor chord. So he's kind of outlining it in a really musical way. He's playing the 5th, and then he's playing the 4th, and then he's playing the 3rd, the B minor. I'm thinking in B minor now. B minor chord, C sharp, the 2, and back to the 1. So not to get all music schooly on you, but kind of in what works in that key, because it's our relative minor. So it really is using the same scale degrees as the D scale. So let's walk on down that B minor triad again. It's really a B minor triad with passing tones. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So first string, 2nd fret, 1st finger, downstroke in our right hand, upstroke on the open E, 1st string with our right hand, and then down on the what would be a D, 3rd fret, 2nd string, and then an up on our 2nd fret, 2nd string, and then open B, open 2nd string, and then that's his next move. So right there, we're gonna grab our 2nd finger on the 3rd fret, 2nd string, and then we're gonna do a 2nd string, 2nd fret. I just wanted to let you know that this was an upstroke, and then we're gonna do a down on that C sharp, that 2nd fret, 2nd string, and then an up on that open B, that 2nd string, and then back to that what would be a C sharp, that 2nd fret, 2nd string. So when we're in this B minor chord, da 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 and that C sharp kind of carries over several beats. So we get to rest, probably the longest time in the whole solo. So let me just play along with Tony to give you a feeling for all of this, where it is, so it's not in a vacuum, in a void. So do you hear where we are? Okay, so that's our next move. After we have that nice long rest on the, I have 2 go strokes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, so I'm speaking in beats now. 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's just C sharp D, C sharp B, or 2nd fret, 2nd string, 3rd fret, 2nd string, down on the 2nd fret, 2nd string, up on the open 2nd string. So that's that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's that measure. That's that couple of measures. Da, da, da. Okay, and this is perfect for anyone who's trying to get better at seeing shapes, because here we looked at that minor triad for that B minor. Now he's seeing and hearing this F sharp minor. Remember, that was the 3 minor triad. So what does that triad look like? 3rd finger is on the F sharp. What would be an F sharp if this were the nut? 4th fret, 4th string is where my 3rd finger is. And then I'm borrowing my A on my 2nd fret, 3rd string. And then going ahead and borrowing that C sharp, what would be a C sharp underneath. That's my 2nd fret, 2nd string. So this triad. 1, 3, 5, 3, 1 of the triad. So if this were the nut, that would be F sharp, A, C sharp, 1 minor 3rd to the C sharp. So da 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 da. So a lot of my students ask me, Okay, so I'm seeing the chord shape. What scale am I thinking in? So this solo is diatonic, which means all of these chords are in the key, which means you're still in using a D major scale this entire time. You're never having to think outside of the notes that are in it. So when we're seeing this triad shape, the notes that are in between the chord tones are going to be from the D major scale. So his next little move, da 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 da. In this triad he's saying F sharp, A, C sharp. He's going C sharp, B, A, F sharp. So you see, it's not magic per se, but it's not a formula either. It took creativity to get there. But he's really outlining this chord. He's going 5, 4, 3, 1. His only passing tone is that 4. Do you see how helpful it would be to see and know all of your triads by heart? So it's not wondering what's going on. You hear a 3 minor chord, oh, I'm just outlining my 3 minor. So in case you didn't get that, that's pulling off from the 2nd fret, 2nd string. Pulling off or picking. Open B. Down on what would be an A if this were the nut. 2nd fret, 3rd string. And then an up on that F sharp. What would be an F sharp? That 4th fret, 4th string. Okay? Don't forget to keep your hand moving because he does hit that in an anticipatory way. See how I moved my hand down to show that it came on an upstroke, and then my downbeat is going to roll by as I hold out that F sharp. And we're going to do a couple of ghost strokes because that's another long one. It holds out for several beats. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So my next note is going to be that open G. And one of my favorite moves, he sweeps up. That's our next move in this solo. So what is it? It is a beautiful outline of a G major 7, of that 4 major 7. Sweeping up it. And then landing on kind of outlining the 1 chord. All to get to the 4 chord. So he does all of that before the 4 chord even hits. Which it just is so genius to me. I just don't know. He's a freak of nature. There's no other way to explain it. Hey, Brad, I miss you too. I'm just kind of going crazy over Tony's creativity here. For me, I'm so boring. I'm like, oh, I'm in B minor now. I'll play in B minor. Okay, F sharp minor, cool. Kind of outline F sharp minor. Oh, the 4's oh, whoops, the 4's coming. Okay. No, Tony seems to always be anticipating that next chord and preparing our ear for it. When it hits, it is so satisfying because he set us up with this G major 7 arpeggio, the 4 major 7 arpeggio, long before it hits. And I guess one could say that this is the 9, and then the 7, and then the 5. So I said it was outlining the 1, which it is, but it's also a cool, like, suspended way to get to the 4 chord. Da da da. Whatever it is completely beautiful, and we're gonna play it. So let me get y'all up to speed so your ear kind of understands where we are. Starting from the top. So you heard that 4 chord come in the middle of that lick. So we started on beat 4, the end of 4, with that upstroke on the open 3rd string. The open, what would be an open G if this were the nut. And we're going to hold that over beat 1. And on the end of beat 1, we're going to grab our G, our closed G on the 4th fret, 5th fret, 4th string. And if you don't know your G major 7, your 4 chord major 7 arpeggio, go ahead and learn it with me right now. It is the easiest thing on earth. Talk about Connect 4. It truly is. Picture the game Connect 4 and pretend you're just lining it up diagonally right there. We've got the pinky, our 4th finger is on the 5th fret, 4th string. And our 3rd finger is on that 3rd string, 4th fret. And our 2nd finger is on what would be a D, that 3rd fret, 2nd string. And then our 1st finger is on what would be an F sharp, that 2nd fret, 1st string. Da, 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 da. So he's going to sweep up that with down ups. Okay, that's going to take some skill and accuracy. I've let you know several times throughout the weeks we've been doing this that doing cross-picking drills in between working on solos is probably the best way to get good at that. So you're not frustrated when you're trying to learn the solo, because then you just got it under your fingers. You can just do down ups, cross-picking up the strings, because this is going to be an up on that open G, ghost down, and then we're actually going to go up, down, up, down, up on that 3rd fret, 1st string. Up, down, up, ghost, up on my 5th fret, 1st string. And then another ghost, and then another up on my 1st string, 2nd fret, and down on my, what would be a D, 2nd string, 3rd fret. Up, ghost, up, down, ghost, up, down. What a cool phrase. What a cool idea. It almost feels like a little jump. Like, I don't know. There's something really magical about that spot. It's like, let me just satisfyingly get your ear to the 4 chord and then just enjoy that comfortable, satisfying moment when we get there. So he does. He waits. He has a rest there for the whole rest of the measure. 3 and 4 and 1. And then moving on to the next little bit, because we remember how we played only one measure of that G chord, of the 4 chord, when we were learning the chords. We go down to that 2 minor next. That's where we are next. So, any questions? Because we're going to move on. You guys remember earlier in the solo, I told you would see this shape again at this one. Okay? Da, 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 da. That's how we started this entire solo. So we're going to do the same lick with different pick strokes. He starts it on a different beat. So we're actually going to start the same lick with ups. I'm sorry about that. It just goes to show that you can't just muscle memory, use your brain through learning solos, because if you did that, you would be addicted to using this lick with the exact pick strokes that he used earlier in the solo. You would think you have to play this lick with a down. If you're used to playing down ups with the correct beat, then when this rolls along and I tell you to do it in different ones, your ear accepts it. You're like, yeah, because there would be no other way. You're feeling it in time, and you would know that because it starts on an offbeat, you have to use an up. So that's probably too much talking for a concept that you just have to be doing a lot. And learning solos is one of the best ways to go for that, because it's just getting language under your fingers. And this very act of me making you now do it with different pick strokes will kind of that's the next little bit. So in context here, okay, so did you hear how there was that rest? 3, 4, 1, and. So we're gonna, on the end of 1, grab our 5th fret, 1st string with an upstroke, down on the 3rd string, 4th fret, and then up on our 2nd string, 5th fret, and then down on this, what would be a C sharp if this were the 2nd fret, 2nd string. So da 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 da, and then this should feel easy because it's just walking up the D major. So upstroke on the, what would be a D, the 3rd fret, 2nd string, down on the open E, open 1st string, up on the F sharp, 2nd fret, 1st string, da 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 da, up, and then we have our down. So let me just make sure, because it's really hard when I slow it down like this. Okay, so now we're back to feeling like we're in a fugue from the olden classical repertoire. It is absolutely stunning. I feel like I'm drifting down a beautiful, lush waterfall and not getting hurt on the rocks. It's just kind of drifting me down. It's convincing me to fall in love. The song is called Go My Way. This whole solo has convinced me to fall in love with the solo. So there we are on our waterfall of love. That's our next phrase. So I'm going to slow it down, and then we're going to go note by note. Okay, we already went through this part note by note. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So here we go. We're going down this part. Down on the G, the 3rd fret, 1st string. Up on the F sharp, the 2nd fret, 1st string. Down on the open E, 1st string. Up on the D, 3rd fret, 2nd string. And then 2nd fret, 2nd string. Oh, when I slow down this much, it's really hard for me to keep up with the down ups. Oh, that's a perfect example. I'm so sorry about that. So da 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 da. That's our next move. So 3rd fret, 1st string, 2nd fret, 1st string, open E, and then back to that F sharp. 2nd fret, 1st string with an upstroke, and then back to that open E, 1st string, and then 3rd fret, 2nd string, and 1st finger hits the 2nd fret, 2nd string. And then we hit the open 2nd string. And then we are going to do the 2nd fret, 2nd string again. And then the open 2nd string again. And then the A, 3rd fret, 3rd string, 2nd fret. And then our F sharp, our 4th fret, 4th string. So sorry about all of those. It's basically audio tab. It's audio tab is what it is. And I know it's really boring. If you're really good ear learner, it's just easier to learn it by ear. But I know some of y'all need to be led through it note by note, and I want you to have this reference for when you are working really hard on this solo and you'd like to make sure you can go back and do it. That whole bit. I hope I led you correctly through G, F sharp, E, F sharp, E, D, C sharp, B, C sharp, B, A, F sharp. So if I, in the note by note, if I got lost, I'm sorry about that. Okay. Any questions about that? All right. By the way, we almost got away without me analyzing that. Now, let me just analyze that for 3 seconds. He's on a 5 chord. Da, 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 da. So it's kind of an interesting little figure over a 5 chord because he starts on the dominant 7 of that 5 chord. So at dominant 7 of the 5 chord, what would be a G if this were the nut? Da, 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 da. There's our 3rd of the 5 chord. Da, da. 1 of the 5 chord. And then, interestingly, ending on that 6 of the 5 chord. So I don't know what's going on or what he was thinking about there. It's still beautiful. Maybe he's thinking, oh, I just realized, and this is why I love doing this with you guys. He might have been setting some tension up for us wanting that 4 chord. Because when I hear this, and then a 4 chord's coming, ooh, there's the root of my 4 chord. Isn't that nice? Yeah, that's what he was doing. I love doing this with you guys because I make my own realizations. And now my whole body is dying for that 4 chord to happen. So he's going to go. So that is gorgeous because what it is a 9, 1 of the 4 chord, 7, 1 of the 4 chord, da 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 da. Yay! Setting up the 4 chord again, and when we get there, it feels so satisfying and beautiful. Da 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 da. Okay, what is that? Note by note. Okay, I'm gonna do an up on my what would be an A if this were the nut. First finger hits the 3rd string, 2nd fret with an upstroke, and then a down on my open or a pull off. And remember, when we pull off, we have to do a ghost down or pick it up, down, up on the F sharp, the 4th fret, 4th string, and then down on the open 3rd string. Da 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 da, ghost. Okay, so next, we're almost done with this solo. You guys have been so patient with me and allowed me to go off into so many little tangents, but that's what we're here for. We are here not just to memorize a note for note solo. We're here to get inside music. The goal is to be like a sponge absorbing sounds that go with chords and basically patterns so that you can use this. You can use these ideas and you can kind of see through the creativity a bit, see through the genius for patterns and shapes as well, so that your ear will start creating your own special creative solos too. That's why I do it. When I do a lot of solos, I don't really quote a lot of these solos. I just enjoy so much learning from them. So there's my da 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 ba, right there, leading us beautifully into that 4 chord. Da 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 ba da ba da ba da da. So let's finish off this solo nice and strong. This is probably the easiest part of the whole solo because we get to just literally slide into that 4-chord triad. So if you don't know this triad here, it's the 4-chord, the B, if this were the nut, B, D, G. Second finger is playing the 4th fret, 3rd string. And then first finger is hammering on the 3rd fret, 2nd and 1st strings. So there's my, it's an inversion. Obviously my root is right here. 1, 3, 5, 1. Some people picture it as the top of, a bar chord. If this weren't in drop D, could play a G. Whatever helps you see, there are my 4-chord, my G, if this were the nut, my G chord tones. 3, 5, 1. And he's just going to slide into it. So we have an up sliding from our 2nd fret all the way up to the 4th fret on the 3rd string. Use an up and slide. And then do a ghost as you slide. And then another up on my... let me make sure I'm telling you the right pick strokes. Up, up, ghost, up, down. So slide 2nd fret to 4th with our 2nd finger in the left hand. And then we have up. Yeah, it is an up. And then another up on our 3rd fret, 2nd string. And then... yeah, those are all ups. Up, 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 down. So sliding, we're going to do it up. 2nd fret to 4th fret, 3rd string with our 2nd finger in our left hand. And then with our 1st finger, we're going to go ahead and do an upstroke in our right hand and our 1st finger in our left hand on that 3rd fret, 2nd string. And then an upstroke because we've barred it on the 1st string, 3rd fret. And then a down on that 3rd fret, 2nd string. So practice that. That's a usable little shape. Anytime you have a G, you can use that. See it and feel it for what it is. Don't memorize this. Look at it, absorb. I'm sliding from a 2 of the G up to a 3rd, a major 3rd, and I'm hitting my 5. And now I'm hitting my 1, and then I'm hitting my 5. Do, 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 do. Okay? Now with an up, we're going to slide, a quick slide from our 4th fret back to our 2nd fret. So that's a quick 16th note slide there with an up, and then we do a down on the open 3rd string. Okay, so we've got a little bit of a couple rest strokes between that. Up, 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 down, ghost, up, down. Okay, let me lead you through this. Up, 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 down, ghost, up, up. Okay, let me play with Tony. I think I'm messing you guys up. Up. Yeah, it is up, up. Sorry. I said it was 16th note, and then I said you go straight to a down. You don't. Sorry about that. Up, 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 down, ghost, up, up. Then we have another ghost, and then a down. Final note of the solo. And what does he hit? He hits the 5th degree, the 5th, the 5th of the 5 chord. He's hitting, there's my 5 chord, outline my 5 chord. I have A, C sharp, E. He's ending on that E, that 2 of the scale. Okay, so Let me play that lick with you guys a few times at the end there. Up, up, down. Up, up goes down. And then Jerry Douglas takes over. So you can do some creative strumming. And actually, I often kind of just jam over what Jerry's doing since Tony's ended by then, and just see if I can come up with anything cool. Although it's never, ever anywhere near as cool as what Tony dreamed up. Questions, please. Let me know if you have any. You guys have indulged me with so much of my talking, and I'm appreciative of that. But let me know. Hit me up if you have any questions. No, I do not have this tabbed out, and a lot of you reach out and ask if I will do that at some point. Maybe if I have time on my hands, I'll notate some of this and transcribe it. But really, for me, I really want you guys to work on your ear training so badly that I don't even get tempted sometimes. Because I'm scared if I send you guys the paper, then you'll memorize the solo. And then you won't have internalized some of this language that we're talking about. The triads, the shapes, the patterns, the ideas, and hearing where it is in time with the rhythm. Okay, so let's play the solo nice and slow a few times, and then I'll just keep speeding it up for you to practice with. As for next week, I don't think I will be here next week, but I think I will be here in 2 weeks. So not sure yet what we're gonna do. You guys have made some requests. I haven't decided. Maybe we'll do a Doc Watson solo. I remember, I think he passed away. No, I was gonna say he passed away in June. Maybe I'm wrong. But we need to honor him. It's time. I don't think we've studied one of his solos yet. And I'm going to try to catch up on YouTube as well. A lot of you guys have asked about that. So let me play this so you have something slow to practice along with. And just for fun, I'll speed it up. And I am, hello David Lee. I'm so glad that you were able to join us. Thank you. Great. Awesome. So awesome to be with you guys. Okay. So remember, we're going to start with that hook. D chord. Four chord. Five triad. Back to the four triad and the one. Show you guys those chord tones at the very end there is I think those are Jerry lead-in notes, and they're not really part of Tony's solo. I kind of just play them anyway, but I'm gonna play at a few different tempos for you to have to practice along with. Play your D chord. Say that you'll be mine. Spit it up a little bit more.
Say that you'll be mine.
See if I can speed it up
Say
more.
that you'll be mine.
Yeah, it's really nice and fast, and I just wanted to give you an example of how you can practice this one, which is get it down nice and slow, nice and clean, and then gradually push it up. And I didn't even really that gradually push it up. I push it up by quite a bit each time. But that's the way you're going to get that beautiful, clean, flowing sound that you guys asked me about, and that so many flat pickers have. It's by playing slowly, not jumping straight into the kind of fast and furious stuff. So yeah, so let's do this again. It is super fun for me, and I'm so appreciative of all y'all's tips. I sent them to the Chesapeake Bay Foundation, and just happy to be here talking about Tony Rice and other great guitar players. I'll see you guys in a couple weeks, and I'll post an event, and just looking forward to it. So thanks again. Bye for now.